Thanks for your company here on AFL.com.au. Our very special guest is the coach of the GWS Giants, Kevin Sheedy. The Battle of the Bridge coming up on Saturday, Kevin. This is a huge match. Is it fair to say, though, that the Swans don't rate you guys?
Well, look, we haven't trained all summer for nothing. We haven't gone up there for no results. So I think that we'll be a very annoying team this year, and I think we'll start off by saying that our last match we won against St Kilda, and there's no reason why we can't really have a great chance at winning this one. Is
it realistic to say that you can actually beat the reigning premiers, though?
Well, at the moment, the results have gone opposite, haven't they? I mean, Essendon beat Adelaide, and everyone thought West Coast would beat Fremantle, but, I mean, wouldn't it be great to see the Giants beat the premiership side?
Well, it'd be extraordinary, but I don't think anyone will be tipping you.
That's okay. I don't have a problem with that. That even makes it better, because I think that, premiership, wooden spoon, I'm not quite sure where the gap's that far.
All right, we'll watch with interest. You're entering your second year now as a football club in the AFL. There's been a lot of talk about the success of the new A-League team in Western Sydney in its first year. Yeah, the Wanderers. Amazing effort. Taking a bit of a different look at this, though, obviously they've been heavily backed by the A-League and given incredible resources and incredible talent to set them off on the right foot. Should you perhaps have been given more resources, more talent in your first season to be more successful?
Oh, look, I think that what's happened with the Wanderers is, I mean, let's face it, you'd have to say the immigration department's their best recruiting officers, because they've actually put everybody from the world into the West of Sydney, so it's really an international area, and they all know soccer, obviously. So, but from our point of view, we always would be building from the ground up. You know, the under-18, the best players, the draft. So they don't have drafting.
No, it would have never been possible, you're saying, to create a team the way that
the Wanderers tried that. We actually tried that. And that was on the Brisbane Bears on the Gold Coast. And every club bar Essendon, I reckon, dudded the development of the Brisbane Bears. So we tried it the way soccer, and they got nothing. So this is why the Commission said, well, you people, you go and get the rules. You make the rules for these two new clubs, and we come through the draft. And that was the best way.
Are you worried about the Wanderers?
No, I enjoy it, because anything to get the West of Sydney up and winning, NRL, soccer,
but
AFL...
aren't they taking support away from your team?
I thought so. No, because they play in the off-season. They're smart enough to move their season away from NRL and away from AFL, and that's a very, very smart deal. OK,
changing subjects, Lance Franklin is obviously in the news. How much can the Giants afford to pay?
Well, I mean, we've got to look at whatever we can do, whatever it takes. I mean, we've got to get superstars into Sydney.
How much is that?
I'm not quite sure the price, but whatever it is, I mean, look, if we were going to pay Israel, but if we paid Israel Folau that, why can't we actually look at, say, moving that contract from there on a player that was learning to play to a champion player that can play, that's kicked over 500 goals. Now, history will tell you that the Swans really got momentum when they got Lockett. And I think we've got to learn from that history.
Is it 1.5? Could it be that much?
No, I have no idea.
But do you think they should spend every cent they've got to get him?
I think we've got to really work out how Sydney can get him, because he's a great marquee player. And look, it's no different than Judd going to Carlton.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
What does it say about Hawthorn, do you think? You've been in this game a long, long time. What does it say about Hawthorn that they haven't been able to re-sign him at this point?
Oh, well, I mean, it's not easy. I mean, the player's got an opportunity now. The opportunity has been there since, basically, really, the 10-year rule came in before you were even born, when Barry Davis and Doug Wade and John Rantel left. All this is the 10-year rule reinvented. And I think it's successful, because I think the players can have free movement after they're locked into a draft. The players have won the case that, well, can you unlock us after year 8 and year 10? I think it's brilliant for football.
But what about Hawthorn? Should they? Well, I mean, they'd obviously want him signed up by now. You've just signed up a stack of your players. You'd want your star player signed up. I mean, what does it say about them as a football club that they haven't been able to do that?
Well, look, I don't know what about Hawthorn. I mean, let's face it, they're a terrific club. They've won an enormous amount of premierships.
Isn't it weird that you wouldn't want to stay?
Well, he might want to go to a group of young players that everyone knows that in the next 5 years, between now and that 5th year of his career, he might be able to pluck another premiership or another grand final.
You're not worried about any of your players being poached? You have just signed up quite a few of them, haven't
you? We've signed up the bulk of them, yes. They've all wanted to stay in Sydney, which has been fantastic. Some players have actually signed on top of their first-year draft.
there, which is great.
Unbelievable.
Let's talk about Jonathan Patton and Jeremy Cameron in particular. How good do you think these two boys are going to end up being?
Well, if they head down the path of a professional elite performance, they're going to be fantastic players.
Who could you compare them to, perhaps?
I think, I just probably look back in my last decade and say Lloyd and Lucas have been marvellous players for the Bombers. And, Lloyd kicked about 900 goals and Lucas probably kicked about half of that. So you'd love to think they would be ending up sort of like the careers of Matthew Lloyd and Scotty Lucas.
OK, the chairman of the other new team in the competition, Gold Coast, has gone on the record saying he wants to win a flag within 3 years. What's a pass mark for the Giants in your second season?
Well, they want to win a premiership while Abbott's there. And how long's Ablett got? We probably we planned our club to probably, with a group of younger players, obviously, to go and get a Gary Ablett Jr. So to me, I would be looking at, we want to be really successful by the 5th year.
OK, what's your pass mark for this year? How many games do you need to win?
Win as many games as you can.
Yeah.
We go out there and we try to win every week.
But do you have a pass mark? I mean, if you win just one game this season, you wouldn't be happy with that, obviously. Of
course you wouldn't.
2?
No.
3? 4?
Maybe.
5? Would 5 be a good number? You'd be ecstatic with 5?
Oh, 5. Look, to me, it's not only what you win, but it's how you play. We want to get out there and be super competitive every week. And, when you're sending an 18 or a 19-year-old player out there who's played 9 games or no games, and they're going to go and play in a champion, I mean, it's a really great learning experience for a person in my vintage and my time in football to actually have these players going out there and it's the early part of their careers. I mean, I remember putting Dustin Fletcher in.
Yeah.
He's still playing 21 years later.
Amazing,
it's an amazing story.
We are almost out of time, but just before we go, one more question from me and then a question from someone at home. Your role, obviously you're down here in Melbourne, you're promoting the club. That's a very big part of your job. So does that mean that back in Sydney at the moment, Leon Cameron's in charge and he's got the team training ahead of the game?
Well, it's our day off today. Right. That's why I'm here.
Yep.
But other than that, all of my coaches really run all the coaching drills, all the plays, right? And if I don't like it, we won't do it.
Yep.
And we'll pick the team, and it'll be a team that I like because I'm the head coach, and that's the way it's run, and that's the way we've run it since I've been there. And you have that autonomy probably to be able to do that because no coach, whether myself or any of the coaches, the team is owned by the club, the board, and the AFL, and the coaches are there to get the best out of the young players and any players, as a matter of fact, because that's the art of coaching. Get out there, put your brand on that team. Now, we performed really well this pre-season in the NAB Cup.
Yep.
Nearly beat the 2 teams in the Grant, Carlton and Brisbane, and we beat St Kilda and the Bombers whipped us. And their form last match was fantastic, wasn't it, against Adelaide, the Bombers. So our form's pretty good. All
right, we'll see what happens in the Battle of the Bridge, which is coming up. We do have one more question for you.
Be there.
It's going to be huge. This is a question, one way or the other, at the very least. Maybe the margin. Sorry, I'm being a bit cruel there, Sheedy. One more question. We're out of time. I'm getting the one over my ear. Dave has tweeted in, though, at AFL.
Yeah.
He wants to know, this is a question from a fan. Who in the AFL would you back to kick a set shot outside 50 metres from the boundary after the siren? Out of the 18 teams in the competition, you got one player that you'd want to have in that position.
Jeremy Cameron.
Jeremy Cameron could do it?
I mean, he's beaten everybody.
Okay.
At the same age, he's beaten Jonathan Brown. He's beaten Buddy Franklin. He's kicked about 29 goals and he's hardly kicked many points at all. So he's the one I back. I back Jeremy Cameron. Whether I put my life on it, I'm not sure. But anyway, I'll go Jeremy Cameron.
Hey, it's been fantastic having you. Really appreciate it.
No
Great to see you. Kevin Sheedy with us. This is AFL.com.au.